So people remark about how is it that I can talk about surviving this corona crisis period and its challenges. We'll pull through, we'll make it, everything will be all right. They're saying, how can I say that when even after 12 years I still haven't recovered from the knock I got from the finance crisis, the global finance crisis of 2008. Well, they say, how can I be believed? How can I be taken seriously when I have nothing to show, for the gains or for the positive change that could have accrued since then, That's very valid, but the thing is that I speak from a space that is beyond the material world as we see it now. Now, I'm not speaking like some spiritual guru, some dreamer, some out of this world person with some strange, some strange philosophies or religion. No. I'm not speaking like that. When I say that I'm speaking from a foundation, from a space that is beyond the material world, I'm saying that I'm speaking from a foundation of philosophy, a foundation of how I manage my thoughts and my feelings. This foundation from which I manage my thoughts and my feelings, it's something, it's a concept that is way out. This concept is independent of material attributes of our lives, of my life. It has very little to do, with things that I make, things that I create, material objects or ideas, ideas like in creativity, writing books and stuff like that, speaking like this, material objects, artists, painting and curving, etc. What that means is that irrespective of whether I have things or not, I have material things, money, I'll still be me. What this foundation I talk about, what it does continually with my mind and my feelings is really independent of all these things. What stuff that I create, what that does, inclusive of money. If I make money, I work, I create stuff that make money. It's just stuff that helps me, maneuver through the intricacies of life in this long journey of life of mine. The material world as I see it, people fly and the land distances here that are impressive. So with or without Holman Colon, with or without money, with or without my books, with or without all, you know, that money can do, it's the essence of me doesn't change. You know, it's a constant. In fact, if it changes, it grows all the time, because each and every time I confront a challenge, I think, you know, I meditate, I pray, I research, I talk to people, you know, I do lots of things to try to find solutions so I can move on. It happens all the time. So the essence of me actually, you know, grows all the time. I can't reach it. You know, it's endless. It will cease to function, you know, the day I die, basically. In the way our modern society, you know, is arranged, you know, it's a money-based society, you know, globally. If you have no money, you are nothing. You're nobody. You know, I don't you know, the belief that you know, money is not everything. Money is everything. You know, if you don't have money, you know, you fucked, to say it in an interesting language. Yeah. So and money makes everything possible. You know, money buys everything that is of value can sell itself money. Yeah, that's how the world works. And this postulation that I make is outside the arguments of whether, you know, capitalism is good, you know, which mode of production is you know, the best, you know, all these things that go with capitalism, exploitation, you know, and all that. I know all that, you know, but it's the reality is, you know, this is how the world runs. It's, you know, it's just the way it is. Until there's a major shift, you know, a paradigm shift in the world. If you have no money, you're fucked. It's simple, you know. But that is with reference to the material world, you know, things, you know, cars. Believe me, I miss, you know, my cars, my Mercedes-Benz cars, you know. I miss my Rolex watches, you know. I miss, you know, the high living, you know, that money facilitates. But that is not the essence of me. Yeah, those are things, you know, that I do, that I've experienced when I had money. That's what you know, people do when they have money. Some people, you know, deny themselves the pleasures. Again, what is pleasure? You know, it's relative. Some people don't use their money; they put it in their pillows, in their mattresses, and all. But you know, some people use their money to themselves to help others in need. So the essence of me is not defined by material attributes, you know, my material possessions, you know, with or without money. You know, I'm still me. It's just that I live differently. I organize my life differently. With or without the things that I do or create, you know, the things that I do, the things that I create, are just manifestations of this this space that is beyond the real world that I'm talking about. Yeah. So with or without the things that I do, you know, things that I've created, be it you know, organizations, be it clubs, be you know, anything that, you know, you can point at and say, you know, this was started by Simon Chilembo, and he is no longer here. That's fine. You know, the stuff that I create can live a life of its own without me. If that happens, that it lives the life of its own, well and good. I love to make things, you know, that last. You know, that if they can last. If they can't, they cannot. And also, if my relationship, you know, with them does not last, it does not last. It's as simple as that. And then when things fall apart, I withdraw into that space that I talk about, you know, that you know, everything is there, everything about me, and you know, it's infinite, and it grows infinitely. With every positive or negative experience in my life, each and every time I go in there, you know, it just grows. And the I that I use here is not just the ego I, my ego I. You know, it's the I that you know, is the universal I, of which you, the listener, the viewer, is part of. Now, as to whether you know, I am credible or not, as to whether I can be taken seriously or not, you know, it's up to you. You know, it's up to your own understanding. You know, your own way of how you relate to your reality. We have each our own you know, references. You know, self-referral objects, belief systems, you know, that help us cope with our realities. You know, if you have that, go to it. You know, and you know, when things fall apart, that's when, you know, the real essence of you, who you are as an individual, as part of a collective, you know, that's when the essence of you is challenged. You know, that's when the essence of you calls to you. You don't have to be afraid of things that you can't change, to the extent that, you know, they don't kill you. Like I've argued, you know, in the earlier presentation, you know, that, you know, as long as I can breathe, you know, I'm alive, and as long as I can, as long as I'm alive, I can create. As long as I can create, you know, I live forever. So I am, you know, totally convinced that, you know, everything will be all right. You know, there's no reason to panic. There's no need, I mean, to allow oneself to be frightened by all these conspiracy theories, you know, that come up in times of crisis. You know, be strong, believe in yourself. But look, you know, if you die, you die. But you know, mankind, we have ways of you know, finding solutions to you know, the crisis, you know, that we come across from time to time. That's part of living. You know, listen to reason. You know that you know, coronavirus. It's simple. Wash your fucking hands. You know, maintain, you know, the distance. You know, professionals, experts, you know, tell you that. You know, do what professionals, you know, serious professionals tell you. You know. And all these big things, you know, the politics, you know, of the world, you know, which superpower wants to dominate, you know, it's let them fuck off, you know, and do their shit, you know, and you know, you in the end, you know, you have only yourself to help yourself as an individual, and then when you've helped yourself, you can relate, you know, to the wider collective, you know, your family, your friends, you know, your nation, you know, your community, your nation, and the global community. So it's on that basis, you know, that you know, we've got to have regain our strengths as individuals and as collectives and up to the global level. We have to regain that. Once we've regained that, then then we can move forward. Then we can grow. Then we can create new things. Then we can have these paradigms, that I talk about. But until then, no panic. Just relax and have fun. And you can only do what you do. There will only be one Albert Einstein. There will only be one Nelson Mandela. It's just the way it is. So when you as an individual have got to identify what your essence is all about, how you can help yourself, and from helping yourself you can help others. It's really as simple as that. Some people, by disposition, by location, by a lot of factors, privilege, or there's many factors, that enable us to achieve certain things or fail to do certain things. You can only do what you can do. There will only be one man, who with 7 university degrees, destroys his own country, subjects his people to untold misery, and especially in times like this. For example. So there's no guarantee, that if you have money or you're the most powerful man in the world, there's no guarantee that you'll be the wisest human being in the world. There are people who are very rich, richest people in the world. There are those who are wise, much as there are very wise, extremely poor people. And this is where it gets even more exciting for me, Yes, poor people. Oh, they have no problems, They still manage, to smile. They're so friendly, Oh, they're so kind, Yeah. Keep them where they are, Yes, let them stay there. We need poor people, to exploit, and all that. And then you yourself, you have to decide, do you want to stay poor and be exploited and, be vulnerable to, especially when big things like this happen? It's your choice. It's how you organize your thoughts and your feelings. This is so important. Who you are. What you've got to find a base. A space that gives you solace. A space, that enables you to, that helps you, go into yourself, your roots. Look back. What would your forefathers, whatever you know of your fathers, your forefathers, your ancestors, how would have they tackled a situation like this, for example? Those are things that are important. As long as you live, as long as you breathe, you will find solutions. Have no fear.